Every Monday morning, I open my laptop and there is a full briefing waiting for me. What clients need, which invoices are overdue, what meetings I have, all organized. And I did not have to check a single thing. Claude actually did it for me. Claude Cowork before I woke up. Hi, I'm Abby, your AI automation specialist that helps your business generate more revenue while improving efficiency. Let's go. This is a scheduled task in Claude Cowork. You describe what you want, set a schedule, and it runs automatically every hour, every day, every week. And you don't need any tech skill to set this up. No automation to be built, just plain English. Today, I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to set this up. I'm also going to be showing you some use cases and then the one mistake that people make when setting this up that ruins their scheduled task. Let's go. So if you haven't used Cowork before, because Cowork is where we set up the scheduled task. You can also set it up on Cloud Code, but for non-technical people, you set it up in Cowork. So if you haven't heard about Cowork before, let me give you a quick explanation. So it's a feature inside Claude desktop app. Think of it as your PA that actually does things for you on your computer. It not just answers questions, it can walk through entire tasks. That's how good it is. Now, regular Claude is like you texting a smart friend. So you ask a question, it gives you an answer. But for Cowork, it is different. You give it a task, you could tell it to summarize your client's email, you could tell it to flag something urgent, and then it goes away and it does it multiple steps on its own. That's co-work for you. Now, the feature we're going to be focusing on today is scheduled task. And what it does is that it lets you tell co-work to do something on repeat every day, every week, whatever you need. You set it up once and then it runs forever. That's what it does. So before AI, you would spend 2 hours on your Monday actually opening your emails, scrolling through everything, trying to figure out which client needs your response, writing follow-up emails, and looking up who you're meeting, why you're meeting them, all those different things. But now with AI, you can do all that in 13 minutes. So this is your before and after picture right here. Yeah. So that's the difference. So 2 hours of your Monday doing admin versus 13 minutes of reviewing what AI has already done for you. So let me now show you how to set it up. Before we start, you need three things. The first is your Claude desktop app, not the website, the actual app that you download to your computer. And then that works both on Mac and Windows. Then the second thing is that you need a paid plan. So you might go for the pro subscription at $20 a month or a max subscription at $100 a month. Scheduled tasks aren't on the free plan at all. The third thing is that your computer needs to be on and the app needs to be open when the task is supposed to run. If your laptop is closed, then the task will wait. And this is good. So it will catch up whenever you open up the laptop again. So you don't lose anything at all. Now, how do you set this up? You come to Cowork here at the very top. You can see chart, Cowork, code. So you click on Cowork. Once you click on Cowork, this is the environment you will be in. You see new task, you see your dispatch, which was the one I taught you last week, and then you see scheduled. So you click on scheduled. Once you click on scheduled, you then see this icon, this tab where you can add new tasks. So that is where you're going to add new tasks. For the ones I have already, you can see I have my Monday morning briefing. So if I open up this and I want to run it, all I need to do is to click run now, and then it will give me that. That's if I want to do it manually. However, if I don't want to run it manually, I'd wait till the next run, which is next Monday, because I've scheduled it to run every Monday at this time. And this is the instruction that I have given it. Then I have the other one here, which is the invoice chaser that checks overdue invoices. That also runs on a weekly basis. Yeah, so if I click on run now, that would also run, and then I can view here. But let's go to the one we want to create now. So if we come here or we click here, new task. So let's now say we want to give it something very simple. So I'm just going to say AI trends. I'm going to name it AI trends. And then I'm just going to say weekly, get AI trends weekly. So I'll now give it the prompt here. I could say check different social media platforms, including web search. Let's just say web search. For the top 10 AI trends, summarize it and include the source link in and include the source link. Let me just say that. And then here, if you put it as manual, you have to trigger it yourself all the time. But if you want it to run as scheduled, you can put it hourly, daily, weekly, anyone you want. So let's say I want it weekly. And then there are more options. So maybe you have a preferred model that you want it to run, but I'm putting it on default. And then maybe there is a file where you want it to work from. So if you click here, your local files will open, and then you can select the file where you want it to do the tasking. But in this case, we don't want that. So all I need to do now is to save. Once I save and then I click it open, and then if I click on run now, then it starts to run. So let's do this. So if we want to check it, we'll come to the view part. Is running now. So it's doing the work. So three things: you put the title, you put the description, and then you put the prompt. That's where you're going to describe what you want it to do. And then you put the frequency, and then you save. Once you do that, you're good to go. So you can see it's even walking us through what it's doing. So you can see how it's searching the web to see what is actually trending in the AI space. It's checking Reddit, checking LinkedIn. You can see how detailed this is. So it's putting it together in a comprehensive report, and then it's going to say. So also remember that there are two ways you can do it. You can get it from the sidebar, or you go to scheduled and then you set the task. On the sidebar, you click on new task, and also in the scheduled task menu, you click on new task. Once you have, then you can just set your instructions and it will follow it. You can see what it's bringing up for us. It went through different social media channels and then got the task done. So that's how good it is. You can use it for quite a number of things. So another thing is that once you've set up your task here, you can always edit it. You can change the schedule. You can pause it depending on whatever it is you want it to do. And if you want to run it immediately, you click on that run now here, and then it starts to work. So this is where you edit. This is where you delete it if you don't want it anymore. You delete it if you don't want it anymore using this bin icon. So that is, it's just right there. You don't need to dig in through settings or menu. You can just do your thing here. Set up as many as you want. You can set up as many scheduled tasks as you want. So let me show you 5 tasks that you can actually schedule to run every week. You can copy whatever is useful for you. The first is a Monday morning briefing, and this would run maybe 8 a.m. every Monday. Before you've had your coffee, Cowork would have gone through your emails, summarized what each client needs, flagged anything that is urgent, and then list anything that you haven't replied to. All you need to do is to wait, and then your briefing is sitting there. Number 2 is the invoice chaser. So let's say every Wednesday, Cowork will check which invoices are due or overdue, and then draft a follow up email for each one. Polite, professional, ready to send. Before now, I used to spend about 30 minutes every week doing this manually, but now I just review and then I send. Then the third one is the weekly content ideas. So Friday afternoon, co-work will look at what is trending in my space and then give me content ideas for the following week. So that by Monday, I already know what I'm posting. So number four is daily calendar prep. Every weekday at 7 a.m., co-work checks my calendar, tells me who I'm meeting, and gives me context. What we last discussed, what they might need. So I walk into every meeting prepared without actually doing the prep myself. The last one is the end of day wrap up. So 5 p.m. weekdays, co-work summarizes what I worked on that day and creates a to-do list for tomorrow. So it's like having someone close out my day for me. 5 tasks which you can set up at once and then it runs every week on autopilot. So I'm not exaggerating when I say this actually saves me hours. You can try it yourself. And the best part is the quality increases over time. So the more co-work understands your routine, the better the output will get. So now the one thing that trips people up is that your scheduled task is only as good as your instructions. So, and most people can be very vague in giving co-work instructions. So, let's now look at it. Maybe you just tell it, check my email. This is a bad instruction. It's very vague. What is it checking for? New emails, urgent ones? You don't give it any format. So you're just going to get a wall of text. So it's not going to filter out all the other things. It will just give you every jargon that you have in your box, including the useful ones. And then you would now have to be sifting. And that's not what you need. But the good instruction here, if you look at it, check my client's email from the last 24 hours, summarize each one in one sentence, flag anything that needs a reply today, ignore newsletters and automated emails. So you can see the difference. You've given it a clear scope. You're telling it what to look for. You're telling it what to ignore, and you're telling it how to present it. So my rule would be for you to write your instruction like you are briefing a smart new assistant. On their first day, you have to be specific. You have to tell them what done looks like. And then the 2 minutes you spend actually writing these clear instructions will save you from getting useless responses every single week. So let's do a quick recap. First, you open Cowork in your Claude desktop app. And then two, you click on schedule task. When you click on schedule task, you click on new task. You either use the new task tab that is in the schedule task menu or on the left sidebar. You write specific instructions. Tell it what exactly to look for and how to format it. Once you do that, you get your first scheduled task up and running, and it will just take you about 60 seconds to set up. So here is what I want you to do. Think of those tasks that you repeat every single week that buzz you, your emails, your invoices, your reports, your meeting prep, whatever it is, set it up one scheduled task after the other. Set up one scheduled task for each one of them this week. I made a free cheat sheet as well with prompt templates for the most common business task. Link will be in the description. So copy paste them, tweak them for your business, and you're running. If you want help setting up AI automations and agentic workflows for your business, link is also below. Subscribe if you found this very useful. I'll continue to put out videos every week on how to use AI to actually run your business. See you in the next one.